Welcome to day 10 of devotional reflections out of the book of Revelation, and I am in need of hazard pay this week because the questions are big ones. Today the question is, what is the mark of the beast? So let me start here, not with fear, not with speculation, but with a simple reminder that God is not surprised by what's coming. And he doesn't want us to be confused about it as well. He's shining some flashlights ahead for us to see what we need to see. So the mark of the beast is one of these phrases that has a lot of traction in certain circles. It's used in movies and conspiracy theories and countless internet rabbit holes. And this is important to know. What does the Bible actually say? So Revelation chapter 13 is where this comes up, and it's described as something on the right hand or on the forehead that is required for buying and selling. So some have taken this literally and assumed that it's some sort of barcode or tattoo or chip or something. Maybe, probably not. I just think that what we get here, again, is apocalyptic imagery. What we're getting is a big story about good versus evil. And the symbols are pointing to something beyond themselves. And the symbols are pointing, in a sense, to whatever the mark is, it's a symbol of allegiance. So Revelation sets up this series of contrasts. There's the false Trinity versus the real Trinity. There is counterfeit power and miracles versus real ultimate power. There's deception versus truth. There's the beast versus the lamb. The mark, whatever specifics it takes, is sort of the anti-allegiance to God. It's the anti-Shema. You might remember in Deuteronomy 6, verse 8, God instructs his people to bind his commandments on their hands and on their forehead. And it's sort of visible signs, right, of loyalty, visible signs of allegiance. So Revelation, the mark of the beast, is some sort of counterfeit statement against that. And what the beast is demanding is the loyalty that is owed to God. And so we have the similar situation here of hands and feet. So the mark of the beast is, I just don't think it's a barcode. I think it's a belief system. And it's an allegiance, and it's an alignment with somebody, something other than God. It's not primarily, this is not primarily about technology, it's primarily about theology. It's not whether you have a chip in your hand, it's whose voice are you going to obey and follow? Is your life going to be shaped more by the Lamb, or is it going to be shaped more by the systems of the world? And here's the sobering reality. So to go to Revelation chapter 13, verse 3, it says, the whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast. So the implication is that most people will not resist. They'll go along because it's easier, because it's safer, because there's safety in numbers, because it promises something that looks like peace and security. So here's the critical thing to hear. The point here is not to panic or to escape. What John says, Revelation 13:10, is this calls for patient endurance and faithfulness on the part of God's people. So the call to us is not to escape, it's not to panic, it is to faithfully endure. Dallas Willard, the late Dallas Willard, wrote once and said, the greatest threat to the kingdom of God in your life is not evil, it's distraction. I want to suggest that the mark of the beast might be less of a dramatic decision as to whether you're going to get the mark of the beast. It's a little bit more about the trajectory that you're on. Many people slowly drift away from God. We justify compromises. We recenter our lives around something other than Jesus. So, how do we resist? You're asking about the mark of the beast. What are you supposed to do to make sure that you don't have the mark of the beast? Well, Romans 12, set your mind on Christ. Right? I mean, we are to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. This is not a one-time decision. This is an ongoing chain of events. We stay in community, the kind of community that sharpens and challenges us and brings us back to the Lamb. And we remember the end of the story, which is the great part about the book of Revelation, right? For all the confusions, for all the things we're trying to figure out, God wins. I mean, that's the big message. Jesus is going to rule and reign. And so we live in light of that. So it could be costly. Dietrich Bonhoeffer says, when God bids a man, he calls him to come and die. And so we have to understand that the cost of discipleship might be higher than we're expecting. But when everybody is running in the wrong direction, we need to be alert to Christ calling us in the right direction. So today, don't be afraid of the beast. Be amazed by the Lamb. He knows your name. He has marked you as his own. This mark doesn't enslave us. It sets us free. Have a good day.